Hi there, my name's Justin, and this is my co-op report video. Okay, how do I begin? I'm a fourth year student at UVic, and I'm doing the Geography and Environmental Studies double major with a Geomatics concentration, and I'm working at the Pacific Cat Clinic. Okay, so we'll go through a quick rundown of the jobs that I do, and again, I'm going to go kind of approach it with a geomatics, data management perspective, because that's what I can take from this job in a sense. So the first one is reception, and so they take phone calls and emails, and when someone comes outside with their cat, we give them a quick check-in, and then we take that information and then we pass it over to the MCC, which is the medical care coordinator. It's basically the person that does the exam with the cat and the doctor. It's a lot of information to take in. So we read up on the cat's history beforehand, and then we go and talk to the owner. And so we filter out that information and deliver the most important stuff to the veterinarian, because the exams are quick and there's a lot of in and out, and so we got to manage our time very well to make sure that the next one gets in that time. And then the last part is the adoptions, and that's my favorite part. But it's a lot of information I got to take care of, because at times there would be like 5 kittens ready for adoption. So you got to know each of their names, their genders, their personality. And so yeah, once that's out there, everybody pours in their responses, and that's a lot to keep track of. And then once we're there, we give a call back to the owner and we say, hey, everything looks good. It's very full circle, because we start off with getting to know the kittens and then sending it off to the right family. Okay, so from a more of an academic reflection, I should talk about my personal growth. I've also learned multitasking, which everyone does day to day, but this job is crazy on the things that you do. So say I'm working on an adoption application, I'm reading up on what someone's family and home life is like, and then we get phone calls like crazy, and that might be something like, oh, can you just set aside some food for me? So we have to go into their file, make sure we have the food on stock, and then put it aside for them, put their name on it, tell them it's ready to go. And then by the time 10 minutes has passed and you've finished with that, the air kind of clears and you're like, all right, well, what was I doing first? So multitasking is a big thing, and the most effective way I've learned how to deal with that is to-do lists. So it's pretty good, because our scheduler has this whole big to-do list thing, and everything's like color coordinated, and it kind of goes block by block. So I use one of those, and I write down things that I need to do that day, because we really don't want things to get left behind. So that's my personal growth. In terms of professional growth, I think this job actually did wonders for me, and that's all thanks to the whole adoption program, because my dream job basically is something that's kind of project-based, so something that you'll start and then you'll work on it for a week or a month or so, and then you'll see it through to the end, and then you can check it off and that whole project's done, and then you start another one. I think that would keep work very engaging, and you wouldn't really settle into a routine. So having that, basically with the adoptions, it was very, very engaging in that sense, and it was something that would take a week, and that further solidifies something that's something I want to look into the future for my career. So I think that's been really great for me. So the last thing I can touch on is, how does this co-op job relate to my studies in geography? And at first it seemed a little bit far-fetched, but after having my touch-in co-op meeting, we reevaluated how to look at it, and saw that data management was something that I was doing in this job. And so that's taking in new information, sorting out what needs to be prioritized, and doing that in a timely manner. And on top of that, verifying data. So say a cat comes in, and just at the schedule it says it needs vaccines. Well, we have to go into the file and figure out which vaccines they need, when was the last time they got them, and what we need to do today. So that's something that, going back to the metadata and verifying where it came from, does it make sense, and then when I input new data, that's putting my initials on it and keeping track of it. So if someone were to go back to my data, they can figure out what happened and who to go to if it doesn't look quite right. And that's been the biggest part of the geography aspect that I'm going to take from here. Okay, well that's been my co-op reflection video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening, and take it easy. Bye.